Live from the YouTubes. You guys let me know if my microphone and camera and all those things are working properly. We had some Wi-Fi issues, some technical issues, all of the beautiful things, but we're here on a Saturday, December 10th. This is a different day than what we usually do. We usually shoot for Sunday or at least Monday, but today is a special day because last night I was able to send in my votes for the Critics' Choice Awards, the thing that I am able to vote in. And, weeks and really months of watching as many screeners as I possibly can and getting through all of the movies that they send me. And then finally taking about a week and trying to decide who and what I'm going to vote for. So I have voted. I've submitted my picks. I have my picks available. And today I figured I would be as transparent as possible and show you guys my picks because I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think they would get mad at me for that. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to kind of go through and see at least what I am voting for, not necessarily a predictions, because my predictions are going to be a lot different than what I end up voting for in some of these categories. And I'll try to explain to my very best effort to give you guys at least a reason why I voted the way I did. But my predictions videos are also being worked on. And I will be bringing you guys those videos very soon, starting with my best picture predictions video regarding the Oscars, not the Critics' Choice Awards. Now, when we get the Critics' Choice nominees revealed to us this next week, then I'll do a Critics' Choice specific video trying to predict those. And I'm also then going to submit my votes for who should win in those specific categories. So a lot of things at play in today's video. So we're going to be going through all of those, and I have that list for you guys. But first, I want to check in on you all and see how you're doing. And I see already we've got people in the chat and already leaving the likes and the comments and all of the beautiful things. And I want to say thank you guys so much for being here and leaving likes, man. We've already got 25 likes. Freaking awesome on a Saturday and 67 viewers. So I'm feeling pretty good about what we're going to be doing here today. I want to see how you all are doing. Hi, all. Hello. How you doing, Austin? Doing really well, Robert. Doing really well. Recorded Entertainment is in the house saying, yo. Andy is in the house saying he's going to start auditioning for professional acting projects next year. And maybe I will be voting for Andy soon enough. Hey, man, I am always going to be rooting for you, Andy. So that is awesome that you're doing that. Cash, leave a like. Cash coming through with the thumbs up, man. Thank you, Cash. Thanks for everybody who's dropped a like so far. Gotta love Wi-Fi, absolutely. Hello, hey, Austin, man. We have so many people in the chat. Burke, Austin Burke. Oh, and speaking of people in the chat, I haven't started my music for you guys to play in the background. So let's get going with some night driving music playing as we go through some of these Critics' Choice Awards nominees that I submitted last night. I'm talking late last night. Anakin Skywalker does not like sand. We also have some super chats today. So as always, the way we do this is if I get a super chat, I'm going to be stopping everything we're doing for that super chat. Be sure to answer those questions. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. And I'm going to try my best to go through some of these normal questions and comments as well, get to as many as I can. But if we want to kind of keep them on topic, keep them on theme today, we can discuss more so the awards season movies and some of these categories that we're going to be talking about today. I love this time of year. It's the best time of the year, man. So let's get to some of these super chats because we've already got some. We got Stumbo's Media Outlet. Awards season is here. Yes, it is, Ian, and I'm so excited. Who do you think will win all 4 acting categories? Hope to catch a movie with you in the new year. Ian, thank you so much, my friend. Yes, like I said, the next time, and I'm always going back and forth to Columbus. Funny enough, I didn't get a guest to Avatar. It was a Critics' Choice Association specific screening. No guests, and there were only like 4 people there. I've never been to one that empty before. That's why you didn't see John in my video. I was so bummed I couldn't watch the movie with John. But yes, so who do I think will win in all 4 acting categories? Well, I don't want to give my final predictions just yet, Ian, but just an idea, in a best picture, or I'm sorry, best actor, obviously, Brendan Fraser, not Frazier, it's Fraser. I watched the interview, the Variety interview. Brendan Fraser, Austin Butler, Colin Farrell. Those are kind of my 3 favorites at the moment. It's going to be hard to see anyone kind of overtaking those 3. Best actress, to me, We're talking predictions, not necessarily who I would vote for, but still probably the two I would vote for: Cate Blanchett, Michelle Yeoh. Those are the two that I think have the best shot to win Best Actress. Supporting actor, Brendan Gleeson's going to be at play. Ke Kwan's going to be at play. And you're going to see some of these pop back up when we go through my votes for Critics' Choice. Supporting actress is kind of up in the air. I've been on, and I haven't made it a final decision for supporting actress, but Stephanie Hsu is who's kind of been floating in my head recently. And she doesn't have a ton of buzz right now, but I feel like she will start to get that buzz as we go, if you don't know, from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So those are just kind of the names floating around in my head for all four categories. But obviously, we're going to talk about who I voted for here in just a second. Good evening, Austin. Good evening. How you doing? Doing fantastic. Let's scroll down here. We've got Cash with the next super chat. Have you watched The Bear? It's brilliant. The directing is incredible. It's by far the best thing, but Jeremy Allen White's performance is amazing. I don't think I've watched The Bear. Let's see. And that is, I assume is, oh no, yeah, okay. So I did start watching The Bear. That was a show, and you guys know I am a massive fan of all things cooking and cooking shows, and my wife watched it first. She watched the whole season. She said, you have to watch this. It's incredible. So I did start watching it. I haven't finished it just yet, but what I've seen is excellent. You talk about Jeremy Allen White. He was kind of the face of the show before I knew anything about it, but after watching, he's absolutely incredible. And again, I just love all things chef-centric cooking shows, the menu, anything in the vein of that. So it was definitely one of the better series that I watched, but I do need to finish it before I give you guys a final, cemented thoughts. Let's see. Been about 4 months since I've caught you on live. How's life? It's good. It's really good. I just voted for the Critics' Choice Awards, watched a lot of movies this week to get prepared for that. So we're going to have a lot of reviews on this channel the next couple of weeks. Hey, Austin, favorite critic. Thank you so much. That's very nice. Babylon for Best Picture. Not for me. But we'll talk about, I can't talk specifically about Babylon just yet. Some really good things about Babylon, also some things I was disappointed in, but I can't talk about it. All I can talk about is my immediate reaction. Hello, happy Saturday, Austin. Would you rather be a screenwriter or director? I would choose director over screenwriter. I would choose cinematographer over both, probably. What are your thoughts on Marvel's announcement? The next Avengers movie won't be for a few years. I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm okay with taking time to build that next one up. Austin Powers. Burke. Yes. Oh, behave, baby. Yeah. I would pick the main actress from Till to win. Yes. And you'll see here in just a second, Danielle Deadweiler is also in my list of 3. Need to finish The Bear. Absolutely. I agree. I really enjoyed what I saw. It's just, all of these things that I have to watch preparing for awards season. And just getting through a few more questions from you guys, making sure I didn't miss a super chat before we open up the document and take a look at my votes for the Critics' Choice Awards. And then we can talk about those. And I want you guys to, bring up some things, ask some questions as we go. If you show up, keep liking, keep hitting the like button, hitting the comment button, man. We're already at 44 likes on the day. It's freaking awesome. That's higher than usual. And obviously, whatever super chats you guys send my way, I'm going to be stopping and answering. Andy with probably the comment of the day, Tall Girl 2 for Best Picture. So, oh yeah, baby. Let's listen. Tall Girl 2, Marmaduke, and 365 Days 2 and 3 should be in the running, but they won't be, unfortunately. It's the Academy. They see these masterworks and they just overlook them. It's disappointing. It's like the Year Gotti went overlooked. What a great, incredible film. Have you seen Avatar 2 yet? Yes, Patrick. My reaction is on this channel. So you can go to my channel right now. And James talks movies with what's your favorite movie of the year so far? Well, I'm torn, James. I'm torn between Top Gun Maverick, All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those are my top 4. I don't see anything surpassing those top 4 because I've pretty much seen every movie. So my list is not going to expand much bigger. I hope to hit 200 movies before the end of the year or at some point, but I don't know if I'm going to get there because I've pretty much seen everything I need to see. G. Colby P, thank you so much. Austin, let's lift Real James some luck, because after the embargo lifts, people are coming after him with his thoughts on Avatar 2. His OOT reaction video gets a lot of hate. Listen, G. Colby P. I was very... It's one of those things I expected to see varying reactions for Avatar 2. So James' reaction to Avatar 2, and if you guys don't know Real James on YouTube, great page, great follow, great dude. He didn't love the movie very much. I think he enjoyed certain elements, but he didn't love the movie. And boy, I saw some anger in his comments. But G. Colby P., I had some anger in my comments, and I did enjoy the movie, but I also said the story, there were some things about it that I didn't love. May have sounded a bit more negative than I actually was, but I wanted to make it clear that the story, while an improvement, I feel, is not, it's not masterclass James Cameron's story. But I had a really positive experience with Avatar 2. I can't wait to talk about it even more. But I did see Real James get a lot of hate on his video. I'm going to wish him luck because I know exactly how that feels. But, it's one of those things. I think varying reactions for a movie like this are warranted, not only warranted, but I think it's a good thing. It's nice to have different perspectives. So I was happy to see James' reaction. I always love watching his vids, and I was happy to see everybody's varying reactions to Avatar. Most of them being positive. I was positive, but I do have some issues that we can talk about. And then we've got one more super chat before we get started with these Critics' Choice Awards voting. Why does Marmaduke have a 5 out of 5 on your Letterboxd, Jacob? Well, it doesn't, Jacob, but it should. Let me tell you. Marmaduke, world-class filmmaking, and the only thing that I hated was that Owen Wilson wasn't in this one, but he was in the live action. Collie_Wally, happy Thanksmas, my man. Wally in the chat. Thanks for being here, Collie. Happy Thanksmas, the smack dab in the middle between Thanksgiving and Christmas time of the year. In my opinion, one of the best times of the year. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. I love getting excited for Christmas. So I love this time of the year and making all my lists. Oh, do we have Black Gay Comic Geek in the chat? Let's go. Let's go. What's going on? One of the best TikTok follows. What's your favorite show of the year? Well, I have a little bias for a tiny TV show called Better Call Saul. Outstanding show. Loved the final season. I was also a huge fan of House of the Dragon, though. I thought that really nailed what it was trying to do. I loved the new season of Stranger Things. I loved the new season of The Boys. Peacemaker was surprisingly great. Black Bear on Apple was surprisingly great. I can't wait to watch The Bear again to see if that, to finish The Bear, to see if that gets in my top 10. Severance was really good. Haven't finished Andor yet, but most of what I've watched is really good. So some great shows this year. Some really great shows. The top 10 for TV is going to be just as hard as making the top 10 for movies, in my opinion. Let's see here. Jason Bourne or James Bond? Just getting through some questions before we have to go into Critics' Choice Awards, guys. Jason Bourne or James Bond? I would say James Bond. Just a longer history there, but I think Bourne's a great character. What is your favorite Guillermo del Toro film? Ooh, man, that's off the top of my head. Oh boy, that's tough. Well, the fact that Pinocchio, I think, is going to crack that top 5 is pretty impressive, because Pinocchio is one of those movies. Let's see if I have a list on Letterboxd. I don't know. I don't know if I can give you one without a list, because I'd say my top 3 are all like lumped together, because I would off the top of my head say Pan's Labyrinth, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to say that immediately. Let's see. No, I don't think I have a Del Toro list, so I guess I'll just go with my first intuition, and that is Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth did something for me my first time watching, but it also gets better every time you watch it. It's a magical, mystical movie that is a beautiful blend of what he does best and kind of doing a little something different at the time. I think it came out in 2006. So I'm going to say Pan's Labyrinth, but I would have to look at. But listen, I was a huge fan of Pinocchio this year. It's not in my top 10 movies of the year, but I was a huge fan. And my reviews on this channel, in case you missed it. So It's in the discussion, but I'd still say Pan's Labyrinth. Better Call Saul needs Emmy love this year. Oh my God, if it doesn't get Emmy love this year, I will be devastated. Pan's Labyrinth is my favorite Del Toro film. Shape of Water right behind it. Enjoyed Hellboy 2, Blade 2. Yeah, Hellboy 2 is great. That's a great one. Blade 2 and Pinocchio. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, Pinocchio. I've not thought about it, but it could be in the top 3. How is the background score in Avatar 2? I don't think I mentioned that in my reaction, so I can't talk about it too much, but very good. It's not in my top 3 of the year, but it's probably top 5 or 6-ish. So very, very good. Will Avatar make 1 billion? I think it will. Unless we see any unexpected bannings in other countries, I have a feeling it's going to make $1 billion, especially when the word of mouth starts to get out there. Golden Globes nominations predictions, please, Austin. Yeah, I'm probably going to do a Golden Globes predictions this year. Probably going to do one. Don't know when. Don't have a date on that, but I'm definitely going to be doing one sooner rather than later. Did you hear the news on Chris Hemsworth stepping away from acting due to health issues? I did. It's very unfortunate, but we wish Hemsworth the best, and it all comes down to we want him to get better, or we want him to, be as stress-free as possible and to make sure he's in the good health that he needs to be in to perform in various films. So I want to see him again, but I want him to be safe and happy and healthy. Safe and happy and healthy. Let's see. Thanks for answering my question. Of course, guys, you don't have to thank. You don't have to thank me. Oh, God. Black Gay Comic Geek says, is there anything LGBTQ in Avatar? Yes, if there's anything in Avatar, it'll definitely be banned in China. Off the top of my head, and you're right, you're absolutely right, it will be. And that was a big detriment to Wakanda Forever's box office. So, but off the top of my head, I don't know if not prominently, unless it was something in the background, not prominently. So I think it might be safe in China, but y'all know, you never know. You never know if it's going to be safe in some other countries. So we'll just have to see. But I see it, I see it cracking $1 billion. Even without China, I could see it cracking $1 billion, but with China, it's going to surpass $1 billion. We all know Morbius is winning Best Picture. You know what? You're absolutely right. Why even speculate? Will you be doing an Oscar predictions before or after the shortlist on the 21st? Before. Definitely before. May split it up into a few videos. I think I'm going to do Best Picture as its own thing, and then the rest of the predictions separately. But definitely before the shortlist. Which is, kind of like shortlist comes out. I got to take some of those off there, but that's part of the fun. And then I get to make another video and I get to wring the content dry, make as many things as I can. Please vote Batman for something. You talking me or the Oscars? If you're talking me, listen, guys, we don't have any super chats. Can our win Best Original Song? I think it's got a shot. Oh, y'all are going. I think some of you guys will like some of my list at least for what I voted for. So let's go ahead and do it. We'll go. Yeah, let me make sure we don't have any super chats here real quick, guys. But let's go ahead and pull up my votes for the Critics' Choice Awards. First, G. Colby P with the super chat. Thoughts on Taylor Swift making her directorial debut film for Searchlight? Were you pissed like Somewhere or Swift shows promises? Do you think Swift shows promise as a director? Because she has directed her music videos. Yeah, I wouldn't use the word pissed. I don't know why I got so loud there. I'm sorry for yelling in your ear. I wouldn't use the word pissed. I was kind of like, okay, I'm not like over the moon. I haven't watched a lot of Taylor Swift's music videos, to be honest with you. I'm not like crazy excited. I'm not devastated. It's one of those things that she has the pull at this point in Hollywood to kind of do what she wants. And if she wants to make a movie, then let's hope the movie's good. But yeah, I think she can make one. I wasn't like, I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm not like overly excited about it, but if I hear the premise and it sounds good, then yeah, I'll be pretty pumped for it. So let's just see. I don't really watch as much Taylor Swift videos and content and listen to as much music as I used to, but I used to listen. I used to like her songs. I'm going to get copyright hit if I start singing. Hope you vote Top Gun everywhere. Well. You guys know. And G. Colby P. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the support, as always. All right, guys, we're up to 57 likes on this stream. If you guys want to drop a like, we're going to try to get to 100 before it's over. But let's do the thing. Let's do the thing that y'all hopefully came here for, and get those typing hands ready to leave your comments, your thoughts on this video. Like the video, guys. Because I'm going to take your guys, like, just how you're feeling on some of my votes. And again, what I'm voting for in these categories is how I feel personally. So obviously, you know, some of them is going to run over into what other people are voting for and what some of the nominees for the Oscars are kind of going to be like. Because, in my opinion, definitively, like Brendan Fraser, I think he gives one of the best performances of the year. So, of course, I'm going to vote for him, as is everybody else. But then you're also going to see someone here that maybe you're a little bit like, oh, well, that's weird. Why would he do that? So let's see. Who would you cast as Hugo Strange and Batman? I like, boy, what's the actor's name? Why can't I think of it right now? Mark Strong. I like Mark Strong. Somebody said Mark Strong is Hugo Strange, and I think that's a really, really good call. Golden Globes noms on Monday, Critics' Choice on Wednesday. This is going to be a very interesting week. A very interesting week. I can't wait. Austin Burke is Hugo Strange. Could I do it? I don't know if I could do it. I feel like if I wasn't a big franchise, I would just mess it up. I don't want to mess anything up. But hey, I could put on an evil face. I could play an evil character. Come on, guys. James Cromwell. Oh, that's good. But yeah, I like Mark Strong. I think somebody, that wasn't my idea. Someone fan casted him once. And what do you think if The Rock played Rocky? Now we're just getting, this is Inception to my brain. Is Adam Sandler on your list for Critics' Choice? Well, let's go ahead and get into it, G. Colby P. And the answer is no. Adam Sandler wasn't. He's not one of my top three. But I want to explain. Ooh, spoilers. Spoilers for the list. Got to scroll down here. I want to explain how this works, okay? So the ballot is structured like this, where it gives you the category, but you can only put 3 nominees in the category. And how you list them is you list them in order of how much you love them, right? So for best score, my order was, now what you're seeing is the ABC order. Okay, you're not seeing what I voted for in order, but my order for best score, I believe, did I put the Batman first? I believe I put the Batman first, then the Fabelmans, then Babylon. I believe that's what I did, and that's the order that you kind of go in when you're doing each individual category, right? So, but how I have it laid out for you guys is I have everything in ABC order, because not all of these I want you to see my order, because I don't want to spoil my my videos later on in the year. But just an example, best score, only put the film. That's what they tell me. So I wrote down The Batman, The Fabelmans, and Babylon. I thought the score for The Batman obviously was incredible. You know, it's not one that everybody's going to put on their list, and it's probably not going to be nominated. That's fine. I don't care. I could care less. I voted for what I think the best score of the year is, and mine was The Batman. And then The Fabelmans, I thought John Williams absolutely crushed it. Incredible score. And regardless of my thoughts on Babylon as a movie, the score in Babylon, and Hurwitz is always, you know, crushing that collaboration with Damien Chazelle. I thought the score for Babylon was spectacular. It really was. And I was able to, and so what they do for these award ceremonies is they'll often send you the score individually for, no Tar score. Yeah, no, Tar would have been in the top 5, but again, I can only put 3 here. So the 3 that I put are these. Tar would have been top 5. Tar would have probably been number 5, maybe number 4. But yeah, so these are my 3. These are the ones that spoke to me the most, and this is how I voted. But again, this is ABC order. So you're seeing Babylon, The Batman, and The Fabelmans in a random order don't pay attention to the order. These are just the ones I voted for. So now how it works, though, is I vote for 3, 50 to 100 to 150 to 200 to 300 people vote for 3. And then out of those, all of those votes, they tally them and create a category of usually 5. So that's how they do it. Just a little insight into the Critics' Choice Awards, but this is my list. And again, it was really hard to make because you guys are bringing up some great examples. The Fabelmans wasn't showy enough for me. That's what I liked about it, though. I liked how it was really understated and calm and just, it worked so well for the movie that we were watching, right? Women Talking, Hilda. Yeah, Hilda. Listen, that was a great score. And that would probably be the other one of my top 5, Tar and Women Talking. Pinocchio would not be in my top 5, but it is a great score, top 10 probably. Have you Women Talking not seen? I have seen Women Talking. I tried to watch as many movies as I can in preparation for this, and they sent me pretty much every one. So yeah, I was able to watch. What didn't I watch? I mean, I watched Women Talking. I watched Close. I watched. I even watched what's A Man Called Otto, the new Tom Hanks film. I even got to watch that last night. Has the social embargo lifted? Yeah, it has. I don't want to say how I feel about the movie because the review embargo hasn't lifted, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, Tom Hanks, it's the best performance he's had in years. So, hey, I'll give you that. But the only thing keeping me, Chase, from putting that All Quiet score on there is there were those few moments in All Quiet on the Western Front where that just heavy, loud, obnoxious sound would come in. And I can't even put a finger on what I would call the sound. And I didn't entirely love those moments as much as the rest of the score. The rest of the score really great. There were a couple times where it was a little too obnoxious for me, but again, top 3 movies of the year for me. So it's a nitpick. It's a criticism. I can see from Letterboxd you love Marmaduke. Yes. Marmaduke is incredible. I'm sorry, guys. No Marmaduke jokes in this, or no Marmaduke votes in this video because I had to be more serious for Critics' Choice Awards. But if I could have done it, I would have. Yeah, a little too much at times talking the All Quiet on the Western Front. Again, not a bad thing. Just a little too much. But when you're narrowing everything down to 3, it becomes so difficult. Okay, so let's move up a little bit. Let's see what the next category is. And we're moving our way into, okay, so here we go. Best song. We have Lift Me Up, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And again, alphabetical. I'm going to say it every time. It's going to annoy you. Alphabetical order, not the order in which I voted. Lift Me Up, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. There it is. RRR making that first appearance on this list. I had to. One of the more memorable songs of the year. I thought about it for weeks after it was over. And then This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is just, I've actually went back and listened to that multiple times. I know there are numerous songs I almost put on this list. I actually had one. What was the one I took off last second? If you guys want to list, oh yeah. It was I had Hold My Hand from Top Gun on there. I did. Listen, I'm sorry, Gaga fans. I'm sorry. It was good. It was great in context of the film. It's great in context of the film. But I think I like these songs better than that one. Y'all, I love me some Top Gun. I'm sorry, but I think I like these 3 songs more than that. And it'll get nominated. Other people will vote for it. So it's not a huge deal. But I want to give, I don't think This Is a Life is going to get the love from everybody when it comes to voting. And I wanted to give that a shot on my list. And again, yeah, Vegas from Elvis is another one I contemplated it, but these are the 3 that I wanted to vote for. These are the 3 that work best for me. I'm not going to tell you the order that I put them in, because again, I don't want to spoil some things for later in the year. Austin trying to get canceled by Gaga fans. Do it. I dare you. I dare you. Yeah, listen, It was tough. It was really tough not putting that song, because you guys know how much I love Top Gun. You know how much I love that movie. But sometimes you have to narrow it down, and this was what this. Austin is more of a Rihanna stan than a Gaga stan. One Republic song in Top Gun was Robbed. I don't think that song. I think that was just included in Top Gun. I don't know if that necessarily. That's not the one that I thought of for Top Gun. I know the Gaga one was made specifically for Top Gun. I don't think the One Republic song was. So, yeah, the Gaga one was the one that I contemplated. But yeah, I think Lift Me Up had a little bit more meaning to it within the context of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and it's actually one that I really enjoyed listening to outside of that, and obviously. That RRR experience was lifted heavily up by the music, and that was the song that stood out for me. And then This Is a Life, I've listened to it multiple times since I've watched the movie and outside of the movie context. So, let's see here. Let's move on. Let's go to the next one here. Best foreign language film. Those are my three choices. And here's where I struggled with this list. Did I say foreign language song? Foreign language film. I can't remember which one I said. But here's where I struggled. I wanted to include Close on this list. I thought Close was genuinely a great movie. I wouldn't say outstanding. A really great A24 film. It's very emotional. It's devastating. Bardo is one that I watched. I'm not going to put Bardo on the level of those three. It was good. I think I enjoyed it a little more than some critics. There's a lot of some great cinematography in Bardo. You can tell it's personal to Iñárritu, but yeah, I would definitely say these are a clear top three. Other than that, A24 is Close, just kind of on the outside looking in. Editing on Decision to Leave is next level. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll absolutely get to that. We've got Western Front. And again, guys, this isn't in order, so it doesn't mean, and you probably know I would put All Quiet on the Western Front at the top. This is in alphabetical order, but to me, those are the superior three foreign language films that I watched this year. Very standard list. Just know that Close was also on there, right on the outside looking in. Best animated feature. Here are my three. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, in alphabetical order, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. This is a list that I didn't really have a lot of trouble with. To me, these were the easy, write them down. Let's think about it a little bit. Okay, the Sea Beast. I enjoyed the Sea Beast. Apollo 10.5. I feel like that should get some more recognition than it actually did. And 10.5 is, probably on that cusp of being in that Puss in Boots range. Clearly, Puss in Boots was my third on that list. But I wrote these three down and I said, let's go. This is it. And I love this list. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. I wrote it down. I was very happy with it. Marcel is a masterclass in cozy home video vibes. Disney disappeared. Yeah, no Disney on this list. I don't think Disney even had a chance to be on this list, to be honest with you. My other movies were Netflix, and then Bad Guys is also one I contemplated, but I didn't love Bad Guys as much as, Intergalactic was also very, very close. Intergalactic and the Sea Beast and Apollo were the three that I could have put in that third spot, but I went Puss in Boots. Listen, Puss in Boots really, really surprised me. Really surprised me. Like a great movie. So we'll have a full review on this channel. Very, very good. No Turning Red. Yeah, I wasn't overwhelmed by Turning Red. It was, wasn't in the discussion for me. I can't wait to see Puss in Boots. Yeah, very good, guys. We need more animation like Intergalactic. Didn't love the movie, but thought the animation was great. I'll tell you what. Puss in Boots and Pinocchio, obviously, but Puss in Boots is some of the best animation I've seen in years. It's that Into the Spider-Verse style animation, which shocked me, and it sets up kind of a newish Shrek-ish style that we could get for future movies, and I love that. I think that's great. Let's see here. There are no strings on the winner here. See what you're doing there. See what you're doing there. It wasn't necessarily Turning Red is hard for guys to relate to. It wasn't that. I actually related pretty heavily to Turning Red. The early 2000s, growing up in the early 2000s, I thought was very... That's one of the reasons why I loved the first act. Elements of the first act so much. There were some things in there that I thought were a little overwhelming in terms of like just the way that the mother just constantly hounding on the daughter. I was like, okay, a little overwhelming, but very good capture of that time period for Turning Red. I thought they captured the time period perfect, and I thought the lore in Turning Red was great. This is not a Turning Red review. This is talking about the ones that I voted in. So let me know what you guys think of Best Animated Feature and kind of the movies that I voted for there. And again, guys, keep leaving those comments. I love the discussions that we're having. We're also to 76 likes. I don't think we've had a super chat. Please let me know if I miss a super chat. I do not want to miss that. Next one, Best Comedy, ABC Order, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Banshees of Inisherin. Cha-Cha Real Smooth was described as a romantic comedy, so I opted to include it on the comedy list. Everything Everywhere All at Once was hilarious. I don't think there's any denying that. And The Banshees of Inisherin, a dark comedy, which at first I didn't have it on the list. I had another more central comedy in there, but then I thought, you know what? The Banshees of Inisherin was hilarious, like subtly hilarious, and it's a bleak, dark comedy, so I thought it absolutely has to be on here because I have it ranked a lot higher than the other films that were probably going to be on there. Yes, alphabetical order. So, The Menu, that's one that I thought about. The Menu was almost on this list. I opted to give it to Banshees. As you can tell, Banshees was third on this list. Glass Onion, not on the level of these three, but it is one that I thought about. Martin McDonagh, that's what he does, man. He nails it. He absolutely nails comedy. Yes, Bros was the one that I thought about. I thought Bros did a great job of, telling a good story and focusing on a few things here and there, but at the center of it was a great script when it came to the comedic bits. And Billy Eichner, I thought, rocked it. So yeah, that's the one that I thought about. We have no Glass Onion. Yeah, look, I liked Glass Onion. I thought it was really good, but it wasn't on the level of the first for me. So, Bros is not your homophobic. Oh, please no. Oh, please don't start that train. I don't want to be lumped in with that. Bros was almost on there, but that's the reason is because I laughed very hard at Bros. Oh, you didn't like Bros? Black Gay Comic Geek. Oh man, well, you're not alone. I heard some other people say they didn't like it, but for the most part, most people I've talked to really enjoyed Bros. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really funny. And that's all a comedy needs to do. If comedy can make me laugh, I don't care as much about the story, but I also thought I had a pretty good story. Let's see. Again, Austin about to get canceled. Yeah, because I didn't put Bros in my top 3 comedy. That's great. So great. Let's see. Chase. Ooh, Black Panther Wakanda Forever will probably get nominated for Best Score. I agree with that. Recorded entertainment. It wasn't on my list specifically, but I really loved the score, obviously. So I agree that it will probably get the Critics' Choice and the Oscar vote. And unfortunately, it couldn't make my top 3. Let's see. Making sure these are alphabetical. Disney check. Yeah, Chase. Now, just to be transparent with you, I went and put these in alphabetical order right before this started. So if something's not in alphabetical order, and I know some people are going to say, but the doesn't count in the Banshees of Inisherin. It starts with a T. I'm putting it as a T. All right. This was a 30 seconds before we started thing. So if it's not alphabetical order, I am sorry. I failed you. I'm sorry. I failed you. I need my Disney check. Chase, I need my Disney check. All right. You got to deliver on that, buddy. Puss in Boots on the list. That's a W. Wish the Menu got more love. I think overall, I hope it gets love. I think it's a great Great movie. Was RRR eligible for comedy, like at the Globes? You know, pretty much anything with comedic beats was eligible for this right here, best comedy. And I decided that these were the three for me, but I think there were some other movies absolutely in the conversation, for sure. Let's see. Let's go to the next one here, and I don't even know what it is. Okay, visual effects. Avatar is obviously first because it starts with an A, but Avatar is also probably going to be my first vote regardless. I think visually, it's one of the most spectacular experiences I've had in years. So Avatar is going to win. Like, I don't know why I even voted for two more movies. The Batman, it is, I thought the VFX in the Batman combining CGI with practical effects beautifully, and obviously the cinematography and all of those things are great. But beyond that, I think the integration of those two things and making everything look so realistic, to me, I would put that above something like a Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I think the visuals in Black Panther Wakanda Forever are spectacular. I think the underwater scenes are amazing. But there were some moments in Wakanda Forever that were a little CG-ish, a little obviously CG-ish. That made me put the more realistic elements combined with visuals. I'm a guy that unless you're like a Planet of the Apes or Avatar, I try to see what meshes the most and makes it look the most realistic. And for me, the Batman and Top Gun Maverick, they did that. Wakanda Forever is amazing. If I had a top 5, it would be number 4. Wakanda Forever would be on there. And I'd say Doctor Strange probably Everything Everywhere with the budget, would be on there. But yeah, those are my three. I felt pretty good about those three. Top Gun Maverick could be like a No Time to Die pick. More about how the VFX enhanced the practical than how the VFX there was on screen. And that's why I chose Top Gun and the Batman. I think the integration of the two. And I've seen people get mad at that before in past years. And it's like, you can't even tell there's visual effects. And I'm like, isn't that a good thing? Because there are visual effects, but the fact that you can't tell, CGI. The fact that you can't tell that they're CGI is pretty impressive. So yeah, those are my three picks. Rank in order. We got a ranking. Fred, I can't listen. I love the super chat. I appreciate the super chat. I can't give you a ranking just yet because I think that gives you a good idea as to where Babylon is. Actually, you know what? I won't give a full ranking. Won't give because this will give something away, but this won't give everything away. What VFX in Top Gun? Oh my goodness! Everything in the air, VFX, visual effects, making it. Okay, let's see. I will say Babylon is 3 or 4 on that list. I will say Babylon is 3 or 4. It's not 1 or 2. That's all I can say at this point, Fred, because the embargo hasn't lifted. I don't want to give too much information about Babylon, but instead of being on the higher level of Chazelle's filmography, I would say it's more below those top 2 films, at least for me. Let's see. We've got not recognizing the VFX is a compliment for the best VFX nominees. And again, G. Kobe P, that's exactly why I chose the movies that I chose. Again, not everyone's going to agree. Not putting Wakanda Forever on that list was really hard. It really was. But the fact that you can't really tell, and I think that underdog there, though, is Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I do think will get the Oscar nomination on such a low budget and, doing everything that it did, especially in that third act. That was really impressive. So it was really hard not to put that on that list. VFX were great in Doctor Strange. I agree. The Doctor Strange VFX were also really, really good. So let's move on here. Let's go to Best Hair and Makeup. And we've got Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman, The Whale. And I'll give you the reasons why for each of these. Everything Everywhere All at Once. the characters going from dimension to dimension, seeing the different variations, especially Stephanie Shu's character. Oh my God, her hair and makeup was incredible in all of those scenes, and the fact that she had so many variations of looks, and other characters had different variations of looks, really, really cool. The Batman, Colin Farrell. The Whale, Brendan Fraser. It's like, I don't need any other reasoning. Those were definitely the three that's like, off the bat, here we go. And I think I ended up with a list of about 10 movies that could have been in there, but these were the three that were far away. Even though Elvis, look, I thought it was great in Elvis, and I would say it was between, Elvis may have been fifth, but Elvis was in the conversation with Everything Everywhere All at Once of, different variations of different costumes, which is a different category, but also hair and makeup, and which one am I going to go with? Which one do I select? I ultimately went with Everything Everywhere All at Once. But yeah, I think Elvis will probably get that Oscar nomination. I thought Blonde, I didn't like Blonde, but the costume and hair was so good. It was, I agree. I didn't put that one on there, but I could definitely see where you're coming from. Is X in your top 5? No, X is not in my top 5. Where is the Batman? It is on that list. Let's see. He liked Pearl more than X. I did, Jacob. I did like Pearl more than X. My pick would be the Batman for prosthetics and Robert Pattinson. Oh yeah, I guess Robert Pattinson did have the actual makeup. So there you go. Why Everything Everywhere should win? What are you saying? Why it should win? I don't personally think it should win. I think The Whale was probably the most impressive. The Northman, that's another one that had a great variation of costume design and hair and makeup. But these were the three for me. X was great. Yeah, X was really great. And we're talking Pearl and X, and I preferred Pearl as a movie, but X, you can't deny that the old woman, I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but obviously what they did with the characters there, you had to use makeup and prosthetics, and that was really impressive. So, but those were the three for me. Oh, I mean, it should win for the googly eyes. Yeah, okay, I can see that. So when she had the googly eyes all over, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. We got Noah saying, I'm staying in Germany for 6 weeks. I'm 14. I watch your videos all the time. Thanks for the awesome content. Thank you, Noah. Thank you for commenting. It was very, very nice. Did you watch the I Saw the Devil movie? I Saw the Devil. I don't think I did. I watched a lot of movies this year. I don't think that was one of them. Best makeup, Morbius. Yes. It is absolutely Morbin time. Okay, let's move on to the next category, costume design. Now, here's where I've got me some Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Babylon, and The Woman King. For me, the costumes in these three movies were just spectacular. I mean, just. And this is also one that I had a huge list, couldn't make a decision. It was so difficult to even attempt to make a decision here. But I finally narrowed it down. I'm like, how do I not put The Woman King on here? And there was a little bit of a lack of The Woman King on my nominations list, so I wanted to give it some love, but also I think it deserves it. I think the costumes in that movie, spectacular. I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever is amazing in terms of the visuals with the costumes, and then Black Panther, that costume looked great. Babylon, oh my God, the whole movie. Babylon, just the outfits that they're wearing and the dresses and the time period, and capturing the time period through literally costumes and hair and makeup and all the things. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what they were able to do in Babylon. Here's where you snub the Batman. No, I don't think I snubbed the Batman. I think these movies, to me, are better than the Batman. But the Batman's in the conversation for costume design, for sure. But I think these are far and away better than the Batman. I was shocked you snubbed the Northman. Again, I wouldn't say the Northman is a snub here, because I think these three are far superior to the Northman in terms of costume design. But the Northman should be in that conversation, for sure. Just not, I think these three are better. Let's see. Would Marcellus Shell be eligible for Best Animation? Yes. As far as I know it is. Fred. Let's see. We've got that scene in The Woman King where they're going through the thorns. Oof. Yeah, The Woman King should not be forgotten about, man. I really enjoyed that movie. Really enjoyed that movie. Should not be forgotten about. Would you collab with Perry Nemiroff? She's awesome. I agree. I think she is awesome. I got to meet her last year at the Critics' Choice Awards. And if I ever had the chance, yes. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Let's move up here. Best editing. Best editing. Here's one where I wanted to throw the Batman on because I thought the editing in the Batman was outstanding. It was great. And again, alphabetical order. Same thing as always. Decision to Leave, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Top Gun Maverick. You know, Everything Everywhere and Top Gun Maverick are just incredibly put together. I think the editing in both of those movies, especially the up in the air scenes in Top Gun, outstanding. Everything Everywhere. Watch the movie. Okay. Everything about that movie is edited beautifully. The one for me that I wasn't seeing on a lot of lists, at least on Gold Derby, Decision to Leave. I wasn't seeing a lot of Decision to Leave in editing, and I'm like, how? The scene transitions alone, for me, are some of the best I've ever seen in a movie. And that's what that's what he does as a director. So this is nothing new. And while I don't know if the script for Decision to Leave is the best script I've ever seen, I think the editing and the direction is some of the best he's ever done. So I was floored. I mean, when the movie ended, I said, that's one of the best edited movies I've seen in years. So Decision to Leave might even be my personal number one. I don't even think it's going to be nominated in this category because I'm just not seeing it anywhere. But I watched the movie and I'm like, how was it not nominated? And someone says, Roman says, no, All Quiet on the Western Front here. Yeah, this was essentially process of elimination. And my final five, it was almost an impossible thing to decide. I think I ultimately went Everything Everywhere over All Quiet on the Western Front, but it was, it was almost an impossible task. Almost an impossible task. So let's keep going here, guys. Let's keep going. We got a couple more we got to get to. And let's just go ahead and do two right here. We'll do cinematography and production design. We'll lump them together. Best production design, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Cinematography, All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Top Gun Maverick. Now, a cinema connoisseur would look at that cinematography list and scoff because they're like, puff. 2 blockbusters and a war picture for cinematography. How dare you? Cinematography was very tough. That's actually my favorite category of all of them. And yeah, so here was a tough one to leave off, was Decision to Leave. Very, very tough. I ultimately went with editing for Decision to Leave because I think I was more impressed with the way certain things were edited together. Now, some of these scenes in Decision to Leave may have been more cinematography than editing, but I look at how they did some of the blur features and some of the moments where someone's standing in the background and they cut and the person's gone. I look at that more as editing than cinematography, which is ultimately why I went with Top Gun Maverick over something like A Decision to Leave, because to capture the scenes that Austin, I'm real with you. If you were here, I would say, Austin, your snacks are ready. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. For me, it's the fact that they were able to capture the scenes in the air in Top Gun Maverick and make them look as good as they did. And obviously there were VFX at play there for sure. And that's very obvious, but they still did it. And they still captured so many acrobatical moments and incredible, and even the scenes of Tom Cruise raising above the boat, man. I know that's very simple, but so it's not just the stuff in the air for Top Gun Maverick. I just thought the cinematography was incredible for a blockbuster. And then obviously the Batman. I don't have to say the Batman. It's not going to get the Oscar nom. It's not, but I don't care. I voted for it. And then All Quiet on the Western Front. I stand by the fact that I think that's the best looking movie I've seen this year. And most of that has to do with the color correction, which was the color grading, the color correction, which was beautiful, and then the cinematography for All Quiet on the Western Front, absolutely spectacular. Those are my three. Top Gun Maverick should win in every category for me, at least this year. I mean, that would be great, but I don't think it is. Let's see. I'm not a huge fan of 4D, but I would have loved to see Top Gun 4DX. Yes, but I never got a chance to. You know what I saw Top Gun in that I was pretty floored by? And I've actually seen other movies in this format before, and I didn't love it. It was D-Box. It was the D-Box seats, where the seats shake. And, you know, not that I'm against that, but I'm just like, if I'm going to watch the movie, I want to watch the movie on a big screen with a big sound. Don't really want to move with it. But I saw Top Gun in D-Box, and I think it's just the scenes where you have to feel like you're in a plane. And I felt like I was in the plane. That was incredible. But to see Top Gun in 4DX would be an experience, and I would absolutely love to see that. Production design, you know, Avatar: The Way of Water, it's obviously a big factor in that is visual effects. But I do think, and I saw behind the scenes of Cameron designing all of these beautiful, these various sets, and then what they were able to shoot and give us those beautiful backdrops. Y'all, you just got to watch Avatar: The Way of Water. Listen, I can't put into words everything technically about Avatar: The Way of Water. You just have to watch it and experience it for yourselves. And then Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That's no. I don't need to say why. The production design's incredible. I mean, capturing Wakanda like they do in that movie is so beautiful. So beautiful. I'll be skipping Avatar. No, don't skip it. You got to see this movie in a theater. You got to see it in a theater. Otherwise, just don't watch it. If you don't watch it in a theater, there's no point. Babylon. Production design, spectacular. Freaking-tacular in Babylon. Wakanda Forever over All Quiet or The Northman in production design. Nah, that's a no for me. That can be a no from you, Michael. It's a yes for me. And I voted for it. I think the production design's great in Wakanda Forever. The Northman's production design was really, really great, but I would actually say for The Northman, Michael, that it's less the production design and more where they were shooting. And same thing for All Quiet. I think it's, and obviously that's a big part of it, but I'm just like, oh, that's a beautiful place that they're filming. You know, that's kind of how I feel more so. And sometimes that's production design. I look at a movie like The Banshees of Inisherin, and I'm like, boy, oh boy, I would love to just go there and visit. And that's how I felt watching The Northman. I'm like, that is a beautiful place that they're filming. And I know that's a big part of it, but production design, you know, actually designing these sets and designing these backdrops and everything. Avatar, Black Panther, and then Babylon, the places where they're at in Babylon, inside of these big mansions. And I don't want to go into detail there, but there's a lot. There's a lot. The Everything Everywhere slander in the chat. Oh, I don't even want to look at it, G. Kobe P. I'm not going to look at it. That would hurt me too bad. Okay, screenwriting. Okay, this was pretty tough. Pretty tough for me. I struggled with some of these categories. I struggled with these two. Kick him off for the slander. No, we can't kick anybody off. Can't kick anybody off. I disagree. I don't like it, but that's fine. That's fine. As long as he's not saying any wordy dirds, you know. We've got felt like a series of Family Guy flashbacks. Oh, maybe he is being a troll. He or she. I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep an eye on Mudstella here. There might be a little trolling going on here. Because that's a little crazy. That might be crazy talk. Original screenplay, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, Banshees of Inisherin. Yeah, come on. Best screenwriting, adapted, All Quiet on the Western Front, The Whale, Women Talking. Women Talking, if there's one thing that stood out about that movie, beyond a few of these performances, I was floored by some of the dialogue. Just absolutely floored. So it's not necessarily a movie that you watch for anything beyond dialogue and performances, because most of the movie is based in and around the dialogue and performances. James says, I'm so excited to see Women Talking. Yeah, this is one I think, you know, a lot of people are going to really be excited about when it comes to the screenplay, because there's just some really great, you know, really great dialogue, really great interactions, the one-on-one interactions, just absolutely beautiful. And then I look at a movie like The Whale, and for me, The Whale, one location, yes, the movie runs off Brendan Fraser's performance, but at the same time, it also runs off of the interactions between the other characters. And so when I look at how The Whale was able to affect me, a lot of it comes from the dialogue. And a lot of it comes from the structure of how this movie flowed. And I think screenplay. So when I thought of The Whale, I kept thinking screenplay, and I kept thinking Brendan Fraser. And that's ultimately why I decided on it. All Quiet on the Western Front. I love the way the movie's put together, from building up characters, giving us people you care about, but at the same time keeping the war the focus. Amazing. Yeah, Top Gun. Don, I wanted to put Top Gun in so bad, I did, but when I think Top Gun, I don't think as much about the dialogue. I don't think as much because there are some cliches in Top Gun that I think some people don't want to admit because they love the movie so much, me included. I mean, it could be my number one of the year, me included. But the script is not necessarily its strong suit. One of the few things that's not its strong suit, I wouldn't say the script is for me. And then original, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's the definition of an original screenplay. Doctor Strange 2. Stop it. You guys have to be trolling. You're trolling. You have to be trolling at this point. As soon as you said that, I thought of What Mouth. Could you imagine that getting nominated for an Oscar? Look, I enjoyed Doctor Strange. I'm one of its defenders, but come on. And let's see, the other two are Tar, one of the most effective character studies I've seen in years. Tar, and then Banshees of Inisherin. That movie is the dialogue. It is the dialogue. That's how good it is. Yeah, let's see here. Oh no, what a Mr. J movie. Oh yeah. Michael calling out Mr. J movie. Oh no, we're getting on to Mr. J movie. Let's see. Thoughts on Triangle of Sadness for screenplay. I get it, Jacob. I get it. I didn't respond to the movie as much as everybody else did. I liked it. I think it's good. I think the script is effective for the most part. Didn't love it. Just didn't love it, guys. I'm running out of time here, so we got to move in to some of these other ones here. Because I told my wife I would be an hour. Let's see. Best acting ensemble, best directing. Acting ensemble had to go Glass Onion. One of the best casts I've seen in years. That's the strong suit of the movie, was the cast. I think they all come together to create just an authentic experience. The Fabelmans acting ensemble, Michelle Williams and Paul Dano and the newcomer and Seth Rogen. I thought that was one of the best casts of the year. And then Everything Everywhere All at Once. I didn't expect it to end up being, but my God, Michelle Yeoh and Ki Kwan and Jamie, come on, Stephanie Hsu, come on. So those are the three that stood out for me. I could have went 1,000 different directions in ensemble. This one was so tough. Directing. This might get some people. So for directing, I have the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Amazing. Avatar: The Way of Water. I am going to say James Cameron, what he was able to do. And again, this is directing. This is not screenplay. This is not script. What James Cameron was able to do impressed me as much, if not more so, than any other director this year. Okay? That's, yeah. And then, Decision to Leave. It's not one that's an Enchanted Rose. I think this was the other one in the discussion for me. I think Tar or Banshees. I actually had Martin McDonagh on here, and last second, I took McDonagh off. I put on James Cameron. I'm just really impressed. I'm really impressed that he pulled off Avatar: The Way of Water. He literally changed kind of the way that blockbusters could be made with this movie. And so that's where I'm at with James Cameron. Decision to Leave. I think this is one of the best directed movie I've seen in years. He's not going to get a director nom. He's not really been discussed as getting a director nom. I didn't love, I didn't love the way that the screenplay came together, maybe as much as some other people, but yeah, I have to give it to him for directing. And then the Daniels, I've talked before about how good of a job they did. So you can say he changed the way of watching. Let's see here. Park Chan-wook would be my pick for best director. Amazing direction. I'm with you, Josh the Critic. It's absolutely spectacular. I thought of Matt Reeves, ultimately didn't go that direction. I thought of Kaczynski, ultimately didn't go that direction because, it was kind of, I just chose the other three over Kaczynski. The other tough one, so I left off Tar and then I left off Fabelmans. The other tough one was the Fabelmans. It was hard not to put Spielberg on here. It was really hard. That was probably that and Tar. Those were the two toughest not to include in direction. But ultimately, I feel as if those three choices for direction impacted me the most. EO, yeah. I watched EO. Very, very good. Okay, here we go. Let's get these three out of the way here, guys, because I'm running low on time. Wakanda Forever and the Batman for best ensemble. Oh, absolutely, very close. Especially the Batman. I mean, come on, it's just so good. Giselle, I thought his direction was great. He's really got a handle of what he's doing behind the camera, but not in my top 5 personally. Fred Carmichael with the super chat. Next super chat of the day, guys. Make sure I don't miss any other super chats. I kind of want to give it to Ryan Coogler just because of the hand he was dealt. Listen, Fred, I'm not going to get on to you for that. Dealt a very difficult hand, pulled it out, and I think delivered maybe a more compelling story than the first movie, even though obviously you're missing Chadwick Boseman, you're missing Michael B. Jordan's presence throughout most of the movie in this movie. But yeah, I absolutely have to give Ryan Coogler a lot of props for Wakanda Forever. Supporting actor should be Paul Dany. I assume you meant Dano for the Batman, Miles Teller for Top Gun, or Pedro Pascal for Unbearable Weight. I think Paul Dano is definitely in the conversation for supporting. He was amazing in the Batman. Miles Teller, I wouldn't put him in supporting actor. He was great, but I wouldn't put him in supporting actor. Pedro Pascal, I wouldn't put him. I loved Massive Talent. I thought Massive Talent was hilarious. But no, I wouldn't do that. All right, so supporting actor, supporting actress, and best young actor and actress. Best young actor and actress, we have Eden Dambrine, and I'm not entirely sure I'm getting the pronunciations right, for Close. Amazing performance. Maybe it's Dambrini. Frankie Corio for After Sun. Watched After Sun. Beautiful. I think both performances. Beautiful performances in After Sun. And Gabriel Abel from The Fabelmans. Again, alphabetical order. Not in order that I would choose them, but those three stood out. Best supporting actress. You know what? I pivoted last second. I had the actress from Banshees of Inisherin. I had her on there, and I replaced her with Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Because you know what? I watched Wakanda Forever again this last week with my wife. Bassett is amazing. I looked at her 3 times, and I said, Angela Bassett is just acting circles around some of these other performances. And everybody's good in Black Panther. That's not a detriment to the other actors in Black Panther. Bassett's just that good. She's acting circles around everybody in that movie. Jessie Buckley for Women Talking. Come on. She's so good in that movie. And then Stephanie Hsu. And I believe Hsu, somebody said Hsu earlier that I was pronouncing it wrong. I think that's the pronunciation, according to I think it was her Instagram page. It was someone's Instagram page that said it's pronounced Shu. For Everything Ever All at Once. I hope Shu I hope she gets in. I want her to win. I am sold on Stephanie Hsu. She may be my number 1. I think she was my number 1 in this vote, how I ordered it. Jessie Buckley's amazing. And then we have supporting actor, Brendan Gleeson, Banshees of Inisherin. He's a must-have. He was spectacular in that movie. Ke Huy Quan, Everything Ever All at Once. He may be my vote to win, to be honest with you. And Paul Dano, The Fabelmans. I had trouble with that third one. Supporting actor, I would add Tom Hanks. No, Brian, I that was actually one of my biggest issues with the movie. And it was less Tom Hanks's performance. It's not that he was bad. I just didn't like that character in the movie. I had a big issue with that character in the movie. But, Hanks is always good. I would argue that Tom Hanks gives a better performance in, I think it's A Man. Am I saying the name of the movie wrong? Is it A Man Called Otto? Let's see. I think that's what it is, right? Yeah, A Man Called Otto. I watched that film. Tom Hanks is spectacular in that movie. So I would argue that's his performance that could get some Oscar love. Angela Bassett ate up all the scenes. I agree, Felipe. I was shocked that Bassett wasn't being talked about more for Best Supporting Actress. I'm a little surprised with that, to be honest with you. No Eddie Redmayne. Yeah, that was tough to leave him off. But for me, Roman, it was Eddie Redmayne had one great scene in that movie. And then a bunch of good scenes. One great scene and then a bunch of good scenes. For me, Rylance was another one. Matt, I thought of Rylance. I really did. I thought of Matt Rylance. But I went Paul Dano because this movie is built upon the relationship between this young guy and his two parents. And obviously Michelle Williams, she's amazing in the movie. But Paul Dano, that father-son relationship was one that I looked at and I saw a lot of kindness from his character. And that final moment that he has with this young man, to me, just kind of cemented what Dano was doing with subtlety with that character. Such a subtle performance, but it's just kind of that look in his eyes that again, he's had this look in his eyes before. He's given Oscar-worthy performances, it feels like every year for the last 10 years, but something about Dano and The Fabelmans just really kind of swept me off my feet. So I went Paul Dano. That last spot, G. Kobe P brings up a great one. Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway. Movie was okay, but he was great. That's another one I considered. I didn't love the movie, but I thought his performance was amazing. Ewan McGregor. I assume you mean for Pinocchio. Yeah, I could have put him on. I didn't really think of that as much, but I could have put him on. But I think Paul Dano for me was just kind of like, for me, not counting Oscar chances, which Marvel actor do you think gave the best performance for you? For me, it's Olsen and Oscar Isaac. Yeah, Oscar Isaac for me gave the best Marvel performance of the year, other than Bassett. I thought Bassett was amazing. Oscar Isaac crushed it. He crushed that role. Oh, and Barry in Banshees of Inisherin. That's another one, Robert, that I had on my list. I had a big old long list of people for Best Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress, and ultimately ended up going Paul Dano because the first two were pretty easy for me. We have, do you recommend rewatching the first Avatar since it's been 12,000 years? The Way of Water is easy enough to jump into. Somebody asked me this question the other day, and you know what I said? While I think it would be good to watch the first Avatar over again, I don't think it's a necessity. The only thing you need to remember is our military villainous character died, and they're kind of often doing their own thing, the Na'vi. So that was pretty much it, and I think you could go back and rewatch it, but yeah, I believe you could get away with not doing that for sure. Let's see here. We got a couple more here, guys, and then let's do the biggies. Let's do the biggies because I got to wrap this up. My wife's going to come down here and what are you doing down there? Okay, so let's go and let's see Best Actress here. So this is where it becomes a little more cliche. These choices are a little more conventional, I guess. Best Actress, Cate Blanchett for Tar and Danielle Deadwyler for Till. Those were the two for me that I've been hyping up all year. But then obviously Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's like, yeah, because the movie came out so early, I've not been talking about her as much as of late. But to me, Michelle and Cate Blanchett are the two that I think have the best chance. And they may be the best two, but Danielle Deadwyler is on that level for sure. She's freaking spectacular in the movie. So I think this could be my three, but also three that could get in for the Oscars. I think they'll all three get in for the Oscars. Another one that I considered was Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie in Babylon was amazing. I definitely considered putting her on the list. And there's someone else for actress that I know I'm forgetting. You guys help me out here. There's another really obvious one that I know I'm forgetting. Also, my all my stuff just changed colors. It's entered night mode. We have entered night mode on the laptop. Jared Leto for Morbius. No Adam Sandler for you, considering how much you love Hustle. I did love Hustle. And you know what? G. Colby P. Adam Sandler would probably be in that top 5 for me. But I think these other 3 performances were like on another level, whereas that second tier would be Adam Sandler. Mia Goth. Yeah, I would put Mia Goth in my personal top 5, but I know there was another. No, it's not Viola Davis. It's Michelle Williams. Yeah, Michelle Williams is the other one. She was the other powerhouse. Now, I think Viola Davis deserves love too. She's amazing in The Woman King. But Michelle Williams was, I think, the soul of the Fabelmans. You know, Spielberg kind of Williams playing the woman that represented her mother or his mother. So yeah, that's kind of the soul of the Fabelmans. So yeah, Williams was a tough out. It was tough not putting Michelle Williams on there. Okay. Then we have Best Actor, you know, Austin Butler, Brendan Fraser, Colin Farrell. Those will be the 3 in competition for the Oscars. I think that's, somebody said my super chat got ignored. No. Nobody's ignoring anybody here, Don. I just didn't see it. Let's see. Let's scroll back a little bit. Who do we got? Let me see if I can find you, Don. When were you, Don? Let's scroll up. Somebody help me. I got to find Don here. Okay, Don. Somewhere. See, this is why I miss it, because I have so many chats. Okay, here we go. Liz Olsen for Best Actress. She's brilliant. Stole a movie from Don. Sorry, I missed you there, Don. Listen, I would not say Elizabeth Olsen for Best Actress, but she was great in Doctor Strange. She was really, really great. I think she is top 3 Marvel performances of the year. Angela Bassett, Oscar Isaac, then Elizabeth Olsen for sure. But Don, thank you for the super chat. But she was great. No denying that. Now let's get back to Best Actor here. I hope Brendan wins. Colin Farrell supremacy. We've got a lot of different choices here in the chat. A lot of people on different ends of this, but I think we can all agree these are probably going to be the final 3 for the Oscar. I imagine Tom Cruise was close for Top Gun Maverick. I think Cruise was really good, but still Cruise being Cruise. You know what? I do believe Tom Cruise was kind of on the outside looking in for my list. I don't know if I would have considered him putting in the top 3, but I can't argue someone putting him in the top 5. He was he did everything he needed to do. The guy learned how to fly that type of plane. He already knew how to fly a plane. I think he knew how to fly a helicopter. He learned how to fly that type of plane. That's what I want in Best Actor, okay? And people get on to Keanu Reeves all the time, but I look at what he does in the John Wick movies, I'm like, physical acting is still acting, and he does it better than anybody in the business. So that's why I think Keanu Reeves is actually a really great actor. Diego Calva was also right there. He was right there for me. Probably would have been in my top 5. Dwayne Johnson for Black Adam. Sorry, I had to. Yeah. No, that's not happening. Considering this is the Globes, Cruise could get nominated, even though he returned the ones he won earlier. What we're talking about is not the Globes. But if you're talking about the Golden Globes, we're talking about Critics' Choice here. But if you're just referring to Golden Globes, yeah, Tom Cruise could get a nomination. But I think for Critics' Choice, it's also a possibility that Tom Cruise gets a nomination. All right, guys, my wife and I have to go here in literally just a second. So let's do this last one here, very quick. All Quiet on the Western Front, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, Banshees, Top Gun Maverick. The biggest question is going to be the next 365 days. The biggest question is going to be, why is the Batman not on your list, Austin? For me, I will have the Batman in my top 5, but I can't in good conscience sit here and tell you that the Batman is, and it's hard because I like it more, but I can't tell you it's a better movie than Tar. And I was so impressed with the filmmaking behind Banshees of Inisherin. I had to put Banshees above the Batman. So Top Gun Maverick, All Quiet, Everything Everywhere, no-brainers for me. No-brainers. The Batman was in the discussion. It was in the conversation, as was The Fabelmans, as was the menu. I had the menu in the discussion here. I loved the menu. I thought it was great. But I ultimately went with Tar because brilliant character study. Haven't seen anything like it. I went with Banshees of Inisherin, a beautifully written, beautifully composed, top to bottom, strong movie with an ending that I think is going to be very impactful. Those are my 5. And I want to know if you guys have a different 5, if you guys disagree with my 5, and I'm not going to argue if you put the Batman on there. Because again, that was my biggest, do I put the Batman on here? Do I not put the Batman on here? I had to ultimately go with the character study and the dark comedy, Martin McDonagh. Bada bing, bada boom. Brian, I love Hustle. Love me some Hustle. I don't know if everybody else agrees with me, but I thought Hustle was great. Monsters, I hated Monsters, yes. I assume somebody would joke about that. Would have loved to seen the menu get into picture. Yeah, Jacob, it was so close. So close. Like Tar, Banshees, the menu, the Batman. And I had to. This is where showing my bias could have easily swayed me. But I went the other direction. And you guys know how much I love my comic book movies. You do. Yeah. I love the Batman. I love comic book movies. I love the movie. It's in my top 5 of the year, personally. But I had to try my best to put my bias aside. And put in the character study. And put in the McDonagh masterclass. Whereas All Quiet, Everything, Everywhere, and Top Gun, they were in regardless. Didn't even have to think about them. I wrote them down immediately. Let's see. Is it just me, or do the Critics' Choice always nominate all the actors that are in their conversation in their noms? For me, those are the best 3. So it's like, why would I go against the grain just to go against the grain? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's pointless to go against the grain just for the sake of it. Oh, let's put up Billy Joel for. No, I'm gonna put the best 3, and I think those are the definitive. And this year, to me, it's not even really a conversation. I think you could slide on Diego Calva, but that would also be nominating the actors that are in the conversation. So you win some, you lose some. I hate that you feel that way, but I don't. I just think it's very obvious this year. Do you think Will Smith will have a chance for Emancipation? No, people aren't going to give him a chance. And it's really unfortunate. But I actually think Will Smith was great in the movie. And if I had to make a top 10, I'd put Will Smith in the top 10. I thought he was great. I really did. Throw in Cha-Cha real smooth. Yeah, Cha-Cha was very close as well. I ultimately went against Cha-Cha because I've seen movies like Cha-Cha before, and I've never really seen anything like Banshees, and Tar was just so really so effective. I got you. Go ahead and run them out for me. Hey, bud. My dogs are down here. If you guys can hear my dogs, they're very excited. But yeah, I almost went Cha-Cha and Batman and some of these others. Guys, I want to get this last super chat here. Let's see here. Because we have to walk out the door in 10 minutes, and I still have to get ready. Who are the actors? Buddy, go on. Go on, buddy. It's okay. When I'm done, I can take him. Just make sure he stays down here with me. Who are the actors you think are better than people give them credit for? For me, it's Ryan Reynolds and Mark Wahlberg. Hey, everybody. As they both get criticized for having limited acting range, but they both show that they can be great. Yeah, well, those two are definitely in the conversation. I automatically go to Adam Sandler. And I think he's been getting a little more praise over the last couple of years because he's been given great performances, Uncut Gems and Hustle. He's amazing in those movies. But Adam Sandler is genuinely, I think, one of the top 15, 10 best actors in the business, because when he does it, he does it. He does it right. He's really, really good. Did he end up going, babe? He did? Okay. When he does it right. And I don't think he's just a comedy guy. We heard for a long time that this is just a guy that can do comedy and nothing beyond that. And then he worked with PTA. And then he worked with the Safdie brothers. And then he worked with Netflix to bring us one of the better movies of the year, in my opinion. So he keeps doing it. And he does the other ones, and some of the other ones are really bad. I think Jack and Jill's a terrible movie. I think Hubie Halloween was bad, but when he is on, he is on. And I think that's why he gets criticized. But at the same time, I think that's why he's one of the better actors, because he can just flip that switch and he's there. So G. Colby P, that would be my answer. And guys, I've got to go. I genuinely have to throw clothes on, run out the door. I expected this to be an hour long. It ended up being an hour and 30 minutes. I can't thank you enough. And another great choice here. Jim Carrey's better than people give him credit. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Eternal Sunshine. If you haven't seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, there's your homework tonight. Go watch that movie. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. A lot of comedic actors are really good at drama, as tragedy and comedy are two different sides of the same coin. Preach! I believe I wrote that on your Instagram post the other day. Preach. Wow. That was really good. And that's beautiful. Hey, ultimate example there. Robin Williams. One of the best dramatic actors of our generation. One of the best comedic actors of our generation. Oh my God, that was so good. All right, guys. Hey, gotta go. Gotta roll out. Thanks for being here. You're amazing. You're awesome. I've got some cool news for you guys. Let's see, what's our next live stream will be next weekend. Okay, so it won't be then, but I've got some cool news for you guys. The next live stream that I can't wait to share. It'll be really cool. Cooler for me than you, but still cool. All right, guys. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting with the super chats. Thanks for dropping the likes, man. We surpassed, we're close. We're at 97. We are at 97 likes. I think we can surpass 100, but I do have to go, so I can't sit around and wait on it. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here. And this week, we've got Avatar, The Way of Water, my Babylon review. It's probably going to be one of the biggest weeks of the year. Oh, and my Oscar predictions. Can't wait to show you guys those. Thanks for watching. See you soon.